Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Dr. T living your best life here in the Philippines at the moment. Right now I'm in Bohol and I'm going to take a nice little walk on the beach and probably get in the water because it looks like it's pretty nice out there today. I wanted to do something slightly different, but when I started this channel, that was one of the things that I had in mind. And as I said in a few other videos, I call this living your best life because to me that's a bunch of different things. It has nothing really honestly to do with living in the Philippines. That just happens to be where I'm at right now, so I'm doing a lot of that kind of content. But to me that means mental health, it means physical health, it means fitness, it means diet, nutrition, overall well-being, all that kind of good stuff. And where you're living at has a lot to do with that, all those things, right? Happiness, mental health being the big one, and outdoor activities and sunshine and all that kind of good stuff. So what I wanted to talk about on this video was the food in the Philippines and my current diet, and maybe what to eat and how to eat here, really anywhere honestly for that matter. But let's talk about the food in the Philippines, and not bashing the Filipino culture at all, but I do not like the food here, just being honest. I've tried lots of it, and all the Filipinos say, oh, you haven't eaten, you know, this or that or the other thing. Honestly, I've tried a lot of local dishes. I'm not a big fan of them. I'm just not. I kind of feel the same way about like deer meat in America, right? Every hunter wants to tell you, oh, you've never had the way I cook my deer meat. I've had it all. I've had it from dozens of different people, and it all sucks. I don't like any of it. But anyway, it's kind of the same way I feel about the food in the Philippines. So that was the biggest issue I had, honestly, when I got here. Was, if you watched any of my early videos, I was a die-hard carnivore, which means my diet consisted of all meat and protein shakes, eggs, fish, and that was about it. For over a year, every once in a while some nuts and some cheese, and that's about it. That's what I ate for well over a year. I almost never cheated. I didn't cheat for about 6 months straight, and then I got a little lax in my diet, and I would cheat like once a month. I'd have like a cheat day and eat whatever I wanted to. So when I got here, I'm just being upfront with you guys. If you're a carnivore or you're living that kind of lifestyle, that's not doable here in the Philippines. It's just not. And that honestly to me sucks, because I think it's probably the healthiest way to eat. And I won't get into that in this video because there's so much to kind of digest and talk about why that is. But there's 100 different carnivore channels out there that you guys can look at. Dr. Anthony Chaffee's one of the best. Paul Saladino eats a modified version of that. But there's a bunch of other ones out there. So I won't get into that part of it, but what I wanted to talk about is just kind of overall health and the way I had to modify my diet to live here. Steak is really, really poor quality here, and I mean really poor quality. It's hard to find good. If you're American, used to, you can go to, you know, your local butcher or lots of places and get amazing filet mignons and porterhouses and all these different cuts of beef, and that's just not a thing here. You can find it, but like I said, the quality is terrible, and it's really expensive, like more than US prices expensive, and it's real hard to find where I'm at anyway. So what I've done here, the first few months, honestly, I think I was in vacation mode when I got here, so I kind of let myself go. I wasn't working out near as hard. Part of that was access to gyms, but then the food took some real adjusting. I wasn't used to really eating carbs again, and the Filipino culture, they eat rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I was never a big white rice eater. So I probably gained about 10 pounds, honestly, of body fat when I got here to the Philippines. And if you go out to eat the street food, it's even worse. The street food here is all fried. All they use is vegetable oil, which most places do because it's the cheapest. But again, I won't go down the weeds on to why that is absolutely just shit for your body. It's just terrible, terrible, terrible to eat that stuff. And they reuse the oil, and it's damaged and all these other things. So everything is breaded, deep fried, and just not healthy, honestly. And then to top that off, they're eating white rice, which is one of the worst carbohydrate sources you can actually eat. So a lot of misconceptions here in the Philippines. Yeah, most of the girls, and I would say most, meaning more than 50%, more than that, probably more like 70-80% of them are very thin, but thinness doesn't equal healthiness. Someone can be very thin, not a lot of body fat, but they can have terrible blood work. They can have high blood pressure and kind of hidden illnesses from their poor diet. And you see that a lot here. The life expectancy in the Philippines is really low. It's real common to see people dying of heart attacks here in their 40s and 50s. I mean, you get that in America, but usually it's coupled with morbid obesity in America, where they're, 100, 200 plus pounds overweight, where here you don't see that as much. But again, it's because of their diet. So what I did here, and what I would recommend for you, and really anybody, I'm going to give you the simplest advice. And again, I've trained hundreds and hundreds of people. I've trained people for competitions. I've done numerous competitions myself. I did very well in competitions. So I spent a lot of time in my life in that environment, so to speak. So what I've done, and my recommendation I always give people, is if you don't want to jump on hardcore carnivore, you don't want to do something extreme, the simplest diet I tell everybody to do is eat as if it were the 1800s. Meaning nothing processed, nothing in a package, nothing in a can, basically nothing with a wrapper. Eat fruits, vegetables, and fresh food, meaning fish, chicken. Here you're not getting a lot of red meat, so that pretty much consists of fish and chicken. You can eat pork. I'm never really a big fan of pork, and there's some health downsides with pork that I won't get into in this video, but that is the most simplistic advice I can give you. You do that, you're going to be healthier than 99% of the people on the planet. You're cutting out all the processed crap. You're cutting out all the sugar. Yeah, you're getting sugar from the fruit, but I'll come back to that. You're cutting out all the processed, refined carbohydrates, all the processed crap in the white rice. Look up white rice and the glycemic index. It's astronomically high. It's unhealthy, and it's processed. They bleach it. That's how they get it white. So you do that. Honestly, you don't really have to go hardcore carnivore. Now my diet consists of, I eat chicken probably 5 nights a week. I eat eggs if I eat breakfast at all, I have 5 or 6 eggs. Just whole eggs. That's it. Nothing else, nothing fancy. 5 or 6 eggs. I'll have a protein shake in the afternoon. Usually after the gym or after the beach. Like right now it's the afternoon, I'm doing the beach, and when I go back, I'll probably have a mango smoothie. Just a mango with some ice and a tiny bit of milk. And I put a tiny bit of honey in there as well. Again, so some carbs and obviously fructose. And there's actually a couple different types of sugars in the honey and the fruit, but those seem to be not that bad as processed sugars. And again, I don't want to go too down the weeds. That's not the purpose of this video. I try to stay away from that stuff because I'm not giving a college lecture on this stuff. And there's, like I said, there's a lot of other channels that dive into that stuff way in depth. But that alone is going to keep you healthy. It's going to get your blood work in order. You're going to see if you wear a glucose monitor, you're going to start to see your numbers coming down. Your fasting glucose in the morning will be lower. I just stay away from all that stuff. I'm not saying I don't lead a normal life. I still go out to eat. Generally now I have more cheat days than I want to, but I'm trying to live life and not be abnormal, right? So I want to feel like I can go out to dinner and eat at places and not be extremely limited or worried about, okay, well, you can't order this, you can't order that. So I'm trying to be a little more balanced in my approach with it. So I cheat usually, honestly, twice a week now, which is a lot for me, but I think you can do that. And I think you can maintain a really high level of fitness if you need to lose some weight, you're definitely going to lose weight, one, just cutting out all the processed crap. Most people's diet is filled with an exorbitant amount of crap. I can't tell you the hundreds and hundreds of people I've trained. I always ask them, well, what's your diet like? 99.99% of them say, oh, my diet is pretty good. And meanwhile, they got 100 pounds to lose. And then I would ask them, well, what's your idea of pretty good? Because your idea of pretty good and my idea of pretty good are probably very different things. And what I always tell everybody is, walk me through a typical week of what you eat. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, everything. Don't leave anything out. Just walk me through it, and I'm going to let you go, and then we'll talk about it when you're done. Probably 90% of them just list off garbage. Oh, for breakfast, I stop and I get a Starbucks. All I get is a muffin and a coffee, and the coffee was a mocha. And then for lunch, I have a Subway sandwich, and then I have this, and then I have that. But I don't eat fast food or drink sodas. Well, just because you're not eating Jollibee for every meal and slugging down a 2-liter Pepsi does not mean your diet is healthy. And that idea, real quick, I did a video on this way back when, on the moderation diet. That's such load of bullshit, just being totally blunt and honest with you. The moderation diet is crap. I've never trained, I've never talked to a single person that has been in extremely good health and fitness that does, quote, moderation. And what they try to do there is, well, you just eat whatever you want, you just eat less of it, right? Well, no, that's ridiculous. That's like saying I can go to Jollibee, instead of getting I just get the kids meal instead of the, Big Mac, and I don't biggie size it, so I just get a smaller portion. Well, you're still eating unhealthy. Unhealthy is unhealthy. Dr. Anthony Chaffee had a good saying. He said, it's like saying a little meth is okay. Well, I don't do a lot of meth. I just do a little bit, just a tiny bit, right? So no, unhealthy is unhealthy. So eat healthy 90% of the time, and then go ahead, have yourself a cheat day, maybe 2. Go out, have a beer, have a couple beers, have a pizza, get some ice cream. I do that, but I also maintain, I'm not bragging on myself, but I maintain relatively a 6-pack all year. I'm not doing drugs, I'm not doing a bunch of steroids or juice, whatever you want to call it. My diet is extremely regimented, and I work out really hard. I work out like a freak. 5 days a week, I run, I go walk on the beach, I'm active, and it's diet. It's diet. There's that old saying, right? You can't out-train a bad diet. That is 100% true. You cannot out-train a bad diet. You could train 7 days a week for 2 hours a day, and if your diet is absolute crap, guess what? You're going to have high body fat and you're going to be unhealthy. So the quickest and easiest way to get it into check, cut out everything processed. When you go grocery shopping, all you buy is chicken, vegetables, and fruits. Coffee, of course, if you like coffee or tea. Milk is fine to put in your coffee, or cream. Well, you can't find cream here. You can, but it's expensive. And that's about it, honestly. That's what I buy every single week. That's it. My grocery shopping's simple, my cooking's simple. I grill up some chicken breasts, and maybe if I'm feeling crazy, I mix in some vegetables in there, some squash, some zucchini, stuff like that. Every once in a while, I'll throw a potato in the mix. Not even all the time. I really cut out most of the rice, and if I have rice at all, it's black rice instead of white rice. It's just healthier instead of the white rice. Just try that. Try that. I tell everybody this, try it for 30 days. I used to tell all my personal training clients that, give me 30 days commitment. Don't cheat for 30 days, not one cheat day. For 30 days, change your diet to all whole foods. Nothing processed, nothing in a package, no fast foods, no sodas, no juices, nothing. When you go out, really think about what kind of alcohols you're gonna have. No mixed drinks, because they put a lot of juices and sugars in the mixed drinks and syrups and stuff like that. Breads are terrible for you. I love bread. I love bread. I'm Italian. Love bread. I could eat a loaf of Italian bread probably. I don't eat it very often. That's like something I save for a cheat day. because bread is absolute crap for you. So when you go out to eat and you have a hamburger, and a lot of places bring you rolls and bread before the meal as an appetizer and all that crap, right? Save that for the cheat day. That's not something you eat on a daily basis, honestly, even on a weekly basis. So that's what I've done, and I'm not near as lean as I was in America. In America, when I was doing the hardcore carnivore, I was, this is at the far end of the beach down here at South Palms. Well, now the Oceana. I'm gonna turn around here. In America, I was always, pretty much all year when I was doing carnivore, I could maintain probably 8% body fat. I mean, really, really lean all the time. Here, because I have introduced the carbs in the form of the mangoes, I have 1 mango a day, and usually I would say maybe 1 baked potato. And that, like I said, that's not even every day. So my goal now is to stay under 100 grams of carbs, which is really easy if you just pay attention to it. Ideally, it should be under 50. Really would be perfect. That's why I try to oscillate it and I mix it up, where if one day I had a mango shake and maybe a potato with dinner, the next day I try to not have a potato with dinner and maybe just have a mango shake, or skip the mango shake, vice versa, that type of thing. I'll do that, like I said, 5 days a week. Cheat once or twice. And do me a favor, if you're struggling with your weight or really just your health, because you'd probably be surprised if you got blood work recently and what your numbers look like. And last time I went to do my blood work in America, I was on my carnivore diet for 1 year. And my doctor I had in America was actually an amazing doctor. I love that guy. And he was real into fitness and health, real lean. We were the same age. He was into working out. And so I knew he was, I guess, open-minded. Let's just say that about diet and nutrition. I could just kind of tell by looking at the guy, right, that he wasn't the traditional doctor. You know, you go into your doctor nowadays and they're 100 pounds overweight in America. So he was looking at my blood work. And he said, I don't even know what to say. He's like, looking at you, you look like you're 25 years old and your blood work's amazing. He's like, I don't see guys with your blood work. It's perfect. He's like, what do you do? Like, obviously you're lean and you're in shape. I could tell by looking at it, but let's talk about your diet. And I started laughing. I said, I don't know how keen you are going to be to hear this, but I do carnivore. And he says, no shit, I've been thinking about that. I've been researching it. And so I spent probably an hour in the guy's office after that, and we're just talking about carnivore. So I was leaving, and he's like, you sold me on it. He's like, just seeing you in person and going over your blood work and how great you feel physically and mental clarity and everything. He said, I'm doing it. And you know, there's thousands of stories out there like that. But like I said, you don't have to go that hardcore extreme carnivore. Just cut out all the crap. Cut out all the crap in your diet for 30 days. And then maybe 30 days after this video, if you actually tried it, after you do it and try it, let me know how much weight you lost, post it, and tell everybody how you felt. You probably feel better. You're not going to be as sluggish. You're not going to want to take naps during the day. You're going to have more energy. The workouts are going to actually be better. I don't eat several hours before going to the gym. That's a bunch of garbage also. You got to carb up before the gym. That's a bunch of BS. So I don't do that. I don't eat, like I said, several hours before the gym. I actually just feel better. After the gym, I have a protein shake. And then I'll eat dinner maybe about an hour or two after that. So all right, and that's simple advice, I'm telling you, but it's worth its weight in gold in the simplicity of it, because it's something that you can actually stick to. It's something you can actually stick to and you could just remember. Okay, could I have eaten like this 100 years ago? If the answer is no, don't buy it at the store. No cookies, no crackers, nothing like that, right? Unless you're having the cheat day. So, all right, guys, I'll do more stuff like this. And like I said, when I moved to my new place, Vietnam's probably 6 months out, but you know, obviously I could do comparisons on the food, and things are just much more healthy there anyway. So kind of excited to get over there and have a change in diet, honestly, because I'm getting sick of eating chicken 6 nights a week. So all right, guys, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.